Hey guys, and welcome to a new video on this channel. I'm Szabi from CodeRevolution. So today I will be showing you an advanced tutorial for the custom curated RSS feeds, because it is a really large plugin and it can do many interesting stuff that you might not even expect from it. So let us get started. I will explain each and every settings field from it in this video. I will also do other tutorial videos for this plugin where I will be showing use cases for it. So I will be using the plugin in a different scenario and generating different RSS feeds from it. But in this video I will explain each settings field and what it will do only by going through them and not actually using them. If you want to get the settings fields shown and what they will do, please check other videos that I will create in this playlist. So yeah, let us go ahead, and we are in the main settings now. So here we get started with translation options. DeepL translator authentication key. You can add DeepL translator API key here, and in this case the DeepL translator will be available in plugin settings, and you can use it to translate automatically scraped content and add in the generated RSS feeds translated content using DeepL. Google Translator API key. This is an advanced option for the plugin. The plugin uses a free version of the Google Translator API by default. And if this is not working for you, if you select there Google Translate and you are using the Google Translator to translate feeds and it is not working for you, you should add the API key here for Google Translator. And in this case the plugin will switch automatically from the free version to the paid version, and it will use the API key here. The free version might not work for you because of some restrictions that Google put in place recently, and they will prevent you from using the free version too often. So if you are having issues with this, you should enter the Google Translator API key here and you will be able to use it. WordPress feed refresh interval. This is the interval in which the WordPress feeds are refreshed. So this is in seconds. So if you want to automatically refresh the feeds that you create using this interval, you can set here a number of seconds. The default is 43,200, is 12 hours in seconds. So you will see that it is a very large number. You can lower or increase this number here. Enable logging for rules and enable detailed logging for rules. These two settings will enable the logging found in the activity and logging section. So if you scroll down here, you will see that if you check also the enable detailed logging, the plugin will show what it crawls and what it imports. You can delete logs here. And if you check only the enable logging for rules, only basic logs will be added to the plugin settings. Automatically clear logs after a period of time. You can set here how often the plugin should automatically clear the logs from here. Okay, search Google Archives when direct page fetching fails. So if the page that you try to crawl is not available, you can check this checkbox and the plugin will try to scrape also Google Archives. So Google scrape pages and they archive it by default, and the plugin will check if your page is available in these archives. If it is not available directly on the link that you added to the plugin. Web proxy address list. So you can also add a list of proxies that you can use. So proxies can be in this format: the IP address and the port. If you want to add more proxies, you can add a comma and add another IP address and the port. If they have authentication, then you can use this settings field to add authentication to the proxies. User pass, user to pass. This is the format you can use. If one proxy does not have authentication and another one has, you can use like this. So you can simply put 2 commas. This means that the first authentication goes here, the second does not have authentication, and the last one will be used for this. Timeout for running, this is the amount of seconds the plugin is allowed to run, and if you are crawling many pages, this should be increased, but the default value should also work fine for you. Timeout for one request, so this is the timeout for a single web page request. So if you have web pages that are far away from your server or that are large, you should increase this request, because the plugin will try to download pages, will try to scrape them, and if the time required to download the pages passes this value, the download will fail and the plugin will not import these pages. Delay between requests, you can set an amount of milliseconds that the plugin will wait between each download of each page. Delay between rule running, the delay the plugin waits between separate importing rules. So you will see that here in the web crawl to feeds page, we will be able to set multiple feeds that import multiple RSS feeds for us, and the plugin will wait between running each feed this amount of seconds. Send rule running summary in email to this email address, and set only a daily summary email about rule runnings. If you check this, only a daily summary will be sent. Iframe resize sizes, you can set the sizes to which the iframes that are scraped to be resized. You can set royalty-free images to be imported for posts. Here you can set up Morguefile, API, Pexels, Flickr, Pixabay, and Unsplash, and Pixabay direct scraping also. And these will be very useful if you want to replace the images that are imported for articles with royalty-free images, and the plugin is able to search related keywords that are extracted from the title of imported posts, and will search these royalty-free API services for the keywords, and will provide relevant images for scraped articles. There will be also other options for search. You can check them here. For each API of images, you will have different settings. You can set also a royalty-free image attribution. So this is the text that the image attribution will use. It can be used with this shortcode in the plugin settings. If you click settings, you will be able to use it in feed items content settings field. Enable broad image search if you want to get more images, but this will decrease accuracy of images. And do not use original image if no free image found. You can check this to not use the original post image if there will be no royalty-free images found for it. You can also use shortest to shorten the URLs that are imported and also to monetize them. Click here and check shortest. You will be able to register there, and you will earn for each click that are sent through your short links. Use alternate readability. This checkbox will allow you to use an alternate readability if you are not getting correct article content using the automatic content detection method from the plugin. You can check this checkbox and see if it helps. Strip links from feed item content. Strip links only from imported content. So this will strip all links from the content of the feed, items, and this will strip links only from the content that was imported from feed items. The difference between these two is that you can add content here in the feed item content settings field when you will configure the importing, and you can add your own links here like this and so on. And if you want to strip also these links, you can check this checkbox. If you want only to strip content from imported content, you can check the second checkbox. Strip website internal links, this is self-explanatory. Strip JavaScript, strip HTML from content, page screenshot size, because the plugin is also able to add a screenshot to the RSS feed of the imported URL. Crawled category separator, this is the separator the plugin will use for crawled categories. Multiple crawled content separator, this is useful if you are crawling multiple content, and the plugin will use this separator to differentiate these. So if you are importing, let's say, multiple tags and you are crawling these tags, the plugin will use comma to separate the multiple tags that it crawled, and add the comma separated list of tags in the RSS feed. For example, add attributes to internal links. You can use attributes to be added to internal links, to external links. Replace all URLs from content with these URLs. You can set here a URL that will replace everything that the plugin detects to be an URL in the imported content. Read more button text, the text of the read more button that will link back to the full description of the full content of the crawled post. You can also use text spinning. Here are the possible text spinners that are supported. If you click one, you will be also presented settings field to enter user and password or API key for each spinner. Minimum title word count, maximum title word count, minimum content word count, maximum content word count. These are restrictions to not post some articles that do not meet these restrictions. So you can set minimum content word count to be 5 and maximum 50. So only articles that are between 5 and 50 words in their title will be added to the RSS feed that the plugin creates. Skip posts that do not have images. Skip posts with these words in their image names. Skip posts older than a selected date. You can select here the date that you wish to skip posts that are older than this. Phantom GS path on server. If you have a dedicated server or a VPS, you can install Phantom GS to it, and the plugin will be able to use it. And using Phantom GS, the plugin will be able to also execute JavaScript generated content and scroll JavaScript generated content and input it and extract it to the RSS feeds it generates. And timeout for Phantom GS execution. This is the amount of milliseconds Phantom GS will wait to render the pages that it crawls. Random sentences, you can set a list of sentences here. Each sentence can have variables. You can define where the value of variables here. So as you can see, the variable adjective will have clever, interesting, smart, and so on. And adjective will be used here and replaced with one of these values at random, and afterwards one of these sentences will be selected at random and replaced with this shortcode. And custom HTML add code, you can use this shortcode. So custom HTML and custom HTML2 shortcodes can be used to be replaced with these HTML values. Okay, so this was the main settings of the plugin. As you saw, there are many options available. Now let's go to web crawl to feed settings field. Here you will be able to set the start page from where you wish to start scraping. So let's scrape my website now, and this is the schedule. This is the amount of hours the plugin will automatically run. So after 24 hours the plugin will run again and the RSS feed will be recreated. Maximum number of feed items, I have set this to 10, so the maximum number of feed items that are created is 10. Feed name, let's set this to CodeRevolution for example, and we can go to settings to get a huge list of additional settings we can go ahead and configure. So the feed title, we can set the title of the feed. This is by default the VP title RSS shortcode. This shortcode will be replaced by the title of your blog where you run this. So in this case I can set this to CodeRevolution because I'm scraping content from my website and I don't want to set the title of the feed to the test blog because this is a test blog I'm running on. Feed URL, you can set the URL of the feed. Feed description, you can set the custom description. Language, feed update period, this is just the update period that will be included in the RSS feed that notifies crawlers and search engines how often is the feed updated. So if you change these settings, it will not actually change the feed update interval. To change the feed update interval, this value should be changed. This only notifies search engines that crawl the feed how often is the feed updated. Update frequency and period are both together. So daily the feed is updated one time. This is how these two values work. Custom RSS feed tag creator. This is an option that can create custom tag names and add it to the RSS feed. So custom tag, this is the format how you can use it. Custom value. If you want to add multiple shortcodes for crawling values, separate by a new line. So hit enter and custom tag 2, custom value 2. Okay, so these will be custom tags added to my RSS feeds header. So this will not be in the item section for RSS feeds, but in the top section of the RSS feeds. To add custom tags to the item section, these settings field should be used. Okay, so feed items title, this is the title of the items that are crawled. You can change this also. So CodeRevolution says content, append content to the URL. You can add your affiliate tracking parameters here that will be added to the URLs that will be crawled and added in the RSS feeds. Feed item publication date, you can change this also. Additional feed item categories, you can set a list of categories, comma separated list of categories. Categories to remove, if you set the plugin to automatically scrape categories from the source website, you can set here a comma separated list of categories that it should automatically remove from the list that it scraped from the website. Replace article image with royalty-free image. If you want to enable the royalty-free feature, you should check this. And custom RSS feed tag, item tag creator, and exactly like this, we can set also custom tags that will be shown in the RSS feed items. So let me add item tag, and exactly like previously with this arrow, we can also use shortcodes that will be replaced with the correct value for each feed item. So item URL, item title, item content. So let us add item title here, and this will be replaced with the title of the RSS feed item. So the article that will be added to the RSS feed. Image options, skip checking OG image, skip checking feed image. So the plugin will use by default a crawling mechanism that will automatically extract images from the crawled pages, and first it checks the OG image meta tag. You can disable the checking here, and afterwards it will check the content. You can check this checkbox to disable this also. Default image list, you can add a comma separated list of featured image URLs to be used for each crawled article, especially if the plugin is not finding an automatic featured image for posts. Banned word lists, you can set a list of banned words that if they are found in the article content, the plugin will skip posting of that article. Required word list, you can set a list of required words that if are not found in the content of the crawled pages, the plugin will skip these articles. Replace word list, you can set a word to replace with another word. We use a comma separated list of these, so you can set like this. So in this case, text will be replaced with word. I can add comma and add another word. Power will be replaced with new, and so on. Run regex on content. If you know regex, then you can use this to search and replace in the content for regex expressions and replace it with this value. Skip feed items if above regex not matched. So if you check this and add a regex here, if the regex is not matched, then the feed item will be skipped. Run regex on title, the same feature for the title. You can run a regex on the title and replace the content match with another string. Strip HTML from content. Allowed HTML tags, you can set an HTML tag list here, comma separated list of tags. Strip images from feed item content, strip links from feed item content, strip HTML by ID, a comma separated list of IDs, a comma separated list of classes, strip HTML elements by XPath. These are advanced features, but they are very useful if you know what you are doing. Strip HTML elements by tag name. You can also strip HTML elements by tag name. Limit article word counts. You can limit the article to be maximum of 100 word counts in the feed content. Automatically translate content to using Google Translate to these languages. If you remember that you had the option to add also DeepL API key in the main settings of the plugin. If you add the DeepL API key here, you will be also able to select DeepL translator here if you scroll down. Source article language, the language in which the article is in originally. Keep original link text after translation. So Google Translator adds some redirects to links, and you can disable their redirects using this checkbox. Read more button text, you can change the text of the read more button. Percentage of the content to keep, if you want to keep the percentage of the content and not use the word count feature, you can check here and add and keep, let's say, 40% of crawled content that the plugin imports. Send cookies with requests, you can set these cookies that you add here. HTTPS user and password, if the page that you are crawling is protected by an HTTP user and password, then you can set it here. Custom user agent, you can set a custom user agent. Reverse crawling order, so the plugin by default crawls from top to bottom. You can change this from bottom to top using this checkbox. Maximum link crawling depth, so if the plugin is crawling articles, it can be set to crawl articles and go even deeper crawling. So let's say I'm crawling the main page of a blog, I'm crawling and going to an article, and if you increase this number, the plugin will be able to go from that article to another article, and so on. And if you increase this number, the plugin will go deeper in crawling. But if this is left by default as 2, then the plugin will go to the main page, the seed page from where you start crawling, start an article, crawl it, and go back to the seed page. Search for another link there, go to that article. Search for another link on the seed page, go to that article. So this is how the maximum link crawling depth is used. Maximum crawl results to get, this is the maximum amount of links that it should crawl. Use proxy from main settings plugin menu. If you uncheck this, the plugin will not use the proxies that you set in the main settings of the plugin. Source article encoding, you can set the encoding of the article that you have. You can use this as disabled because most articles will be readable, so you should use this feature only if the article is not readable after you import it. Use PhantomJS to parse JavaScript on pages. You can check this also to enable the PhantomJS feature that I talked about earlier. PhantomJS wait before rendering page. This is the amount of milliseconds, sorry, that the plugin will force PhantomJS to wait for pages to render before getting their HTML codes. Do not scrape start URL. So if you check this, then the plugin will not scrape this start seed URL, but only will extract links from it. However, if you uncheck this, the plugin will include content also from this page in the RSS feed. So seed page crawling query type, you can set here a visual selector, ID, class, XPath, regex full match, regex capture group match, or auto detect. So let's use visual selector and select from where exactly from our page should the plugin import our post. So I'm sorry, but I did not set this correctly, so let's get the URL of this page correctly now. Okay, and now let's start crawling and select once again visual selector, and now let's click on the links that we will find in the page. So here we will be able to go in and select from where you wish to import the post. So only click on a post that you wish to import, and the plugin will automatically see and detect that selector, the HTML selector for that specific link that you clicked on, and it will try to crawl links by the rule that you defined here. Seed page pagination query type. So this is the query type that you can use if you have pages that contain multiple pagination links. So you have the blogs that have pagination 1, 2, 3, 4 on the bottom, and you can set here, click on the visual selector here, and you can click on, for example, the first page there on the 1 or 2 or 3 buttons there, and the plugin will be able to automatically paginate results and automatically crawl the first page, the second page, the third page, the fourth page of blog post, and so on. Remember last paged URL if you want to start paging the next time the plugin runs from where it remained the last time it ran. This is a useful feature if you want to scrape all the pages that are contained in a specific blog that has many pages on it. Crawl pages query type. This is the query type that you can use it to search for content in crawled pages. Sorry. Crawled only links with this class, so this will crawl only links that have this class, that have this ID. URLs to not crawl and import. You can blacklist URLs to not crawl and import. Feed items titles that to not crawl and import. You can blacklist feed item titles. Do not crawl external links. So external links that are not from the website that you are crawling should not be imported. If you want to disable this, you can uncheck this checkbox. And content query type, you can set the plugin to auto detect the content. You can set a visual selector to select the content which you wish to include in the RSS feed. ID selector, class selector, XPath, and the regex selectors. Lazy loading image tag, you can set the lazy loading tag that you wish to replace lazy loaded images. So usually this is data dash src or lazy src or anything else that you must check the HTML of the page that you crawl for lazy loading image tags. Feed item pagination link query type. So if the item that you are crawling is paginated, so there are examples of posts that are very long and the author paginates the post, so the first page of the post contains the first part of the post, the second page the second part, and the third page the third part. The plugin can also crawl these pages and concatenate them and add them together and add everything in the generated RSS feed. Maximum feed item pagination depth, so you can set the maximum depth that paginations should go. Title query type, the same for the title. Author query type, the same for the author. Image query type, if you want to get images, the plugin can get auto detect images. Visual selector, OG image, ID class, XPath, or regex. Date query type, current date or get from the article, the post date. Add hours to the imported date. If you want to add hours, a time zone change between the date that the plugin imports and the date that is displayed on the website, you can do this. You can change the categories that are imported in the feeds. And custom shortcode creator, this is a useful feature if you want to crawl custom data from the website. So if you want to crawl, let's say, WooCommerce price, you can create a custom shortcode. The format is this: shortcode name, this little arrow, class ID, XPath, regex, 2 @ symbols, and the expression that you wish to crawl. So like this, you will be able to crawl also WooCommerce prices, and anything, practically anything from the page that you wish to import can be crawled using the custom shortcode creator. After you created the custom shortcodes, you will be able to use the custom shortcodes in this format. So %% name of the custom shortcode that you created, %%. So the name of the custom shortcode is this, and this can be used in the feed item content next to these all shortcodes that the plugin has by default. So yeah, this is the main functionality of the plugin. I forgot to say that the custom shortcodes can be also used here in the custom RSS feed item tag creator. So yeah, this is all that the plugin is able to do. Let me show you also the crawling helper. This is a page where crawling can be initiated in the plugin, and it can crawl pages, and it can check how your server sees the pages that you are willing to crawl, because you might see differently the pages from your server because your server has a different IP address, and this is a useful tool to check if the crawl pages are banned for your server's IP address and so on. Also, activity and logging section of this menu will display system info, rules that are currently running, backup rules to file, load rules from file, restore plugin default settings, and the activity log I showed you earlier. So yeah, this is all for this plugin. It is a very extensive plugin, but which can do many things and will create many RSS feeds for you guys. I hope it will be useful for you. Thank you for watching this video until the end, and until next time, let me know what tutorial videos should I do next for this plugin. So yeah, thank you for joining and thank you for watching until the end. Have a nice day. Bye bye.